My name is Bob Gorham. My law firm is Gorham and Associates. I have one associate lawyer working for me. I have 5 staff people working for me. I have an investigator. We primarily do personal injury, primarily trucking litigation and auto litigation. We do some product liability. We do some insurance, breach of contract, and bad faith. We're a small firm. I manage probably anywhere from 50 to 75 cases in this office at any one time. I personally work on probably about 50 at any one time. And that's a small number compared to a lot of lawyers, but I feel like these clients need my personal attention and I don't want to get stretched too thin. What we want to accomplish with each case is to change the perception of the trucking industry or of drivers in general. Distracted driving is a huge danger in our society, whether it's cell phones, whether it's playing with the radio. In the trucking industry, there is a large body of safety regulations that are designed to make the trucking industry safe. The drivers are supposed to be qualified, and a lot of times trucking companies ignore that. I drove a tractor trailer in college. I took a year off, and I saw some of the abuses in that industry, whether it was drug use or driving more hours than you're allowed to under the safety regulations. And I just feel like I am called to try to improve the safety, with each case, I try to improve the safety of the trucking industry or of drivers in general. You can go to a lot of different law firms' website and you can see them talking about $1 million settlements or $1 million verdicts, and I can sit and talk about that as well. But that's not what drives me. I want to get great results for my clients, and ultimately that means getting them a financial result. But really what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to change the nature of the trucking industry in particular, and of drivers in general, to focus them on giving 100% of their attention to driving while they're driving. Because if you don't, you're going to hurt someone. You're going to kill someone. You're going to change someone's life. And it's a real problem. It happens every single day. And so what we look for in a case, when a client calls us and wants to meet with us about their case, what I'm looking for is, what can I do to make the roads safer with this case? Was the person texting? Were they talking on their phone? Had they been drinking? Was the truck driver over his hours? Was the trucking company participating in that? You know, these truck companies have satellites on their trucks. They know where they are. And yet the driver may log that he's in Jackson, Mississippi, and his fuel receipts will show he's in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, you know the truck driver's lying on his logs, and you know the trucking company knows that because they know exactly where that truck is. But they're doing it because they make more money. They're sacrificing safety for money. And I have 5 kids, 3 of which are driving, and I preach to them, stay away from these trucks. We make them leave their phones at home if they're driving, or we make them turn them off. But the reality of the situation is, it's dangerous out there. And people forget that while you're driving, you have to give 100% of your attention to your driving. And I don't know how many times, just this morning on the way to work, the person in front of me at the red light wouldn't pull forward. The lane had cleared, and I sat there for a good 5 or 6 seconds. Finally, I tooted my horn, and the person looked up from her phone, and then she started driving. Well, put the doggone phone down. And that's a big issue, and that's something that we work on. We're focused on safety. We're focused on getting good results. We have a personal relationship with our clients. You can go on our website and click on videos of former clients of mine. And what you're going to learn is, most of them are friends of mine now. Most of my clients, after their case is over, still stop by for a cup of coffee. I have one client who brings donuts and cupcakes on my paralegal's birthday because we had a positive impact on his life and we became friends. And to me, you have to know your client and you have to be close to your client to be able to argue his case effectively. And I think that is a huge difference between my law firm and most. You've got a lot of law firms out there that market on TV, they do TV ads, and they handle hundreds and hundreds of cases. They deal in volume. I don't. I want to know my client. I want to know his wife. I want to know his children. I want to know his job. And that helps me do a better job for them. I have a great staff. I have one associate lawyer, but I have great staff. My staff people have been here 10 years or more, and they're good people, and they're involved in the cases as well. And we give our clients, or we try to give our clients, personal attention because it's their only case. I may have 50, but it's their only one. And I want them to know that when I'm working on your case, I am committed to you. I'm going to stand shoulder to shoulder with you. I'm happy to settle cases for clients. And if an insurance company makes an offer that's in the range of reasonableness, I will recommend it to a client. But if not, we're going to go try the case. And we prepare our cases as if we're going to have to try them. And if you prepare a case as if you're going to have to try it, oftentimes it resolves. But we try cases. In the last 6 weeks, I've tried 3 jury trials. Happy to do it. And I think keeping our case list smaller, turning down a lot of cases that aren't necessarily bad cases, but they're just not the cases that I'm passionate about. I try, even those clients who I'm turning down, I try to connect them with another lawyer who, in my opinion, is high quality, who will work hard for them, because you don't know what you're getting when you hire a lawyer. And you ought to research that lawyer. You ought to find out, do they try cases? What's their background? Are you one of 100 cases or 1,000 cases? Or are you going to be somebody treated a little more special? Because you should be. And so I encourage you to do some background work, to talk to former clients, and we're happy to visit with you and give you the names of dozens and dozens of our clients so you can talk to them about how they were treated in my office and how their case was handled and whether they were happy with the results, because it's about getting results. And that's something that is my personal philosophy. It's about getting results. And we'll stack our results up against anybody in this business. I will say I get a lot of my cases from lawyers and a lot from defense lawyers that I'm against. They'll refer cases over for me to handle, and that to me is a huge compliment about how we do business, about our ethics, about how we fight hard, but we fight clean. Some of my best friends are lawyers that are against me in cases, and it's because we've developed a professional relationship over my 20 plus years of practice in law, and they know, when I say something, I mean it, and I can back it up. And I think that's important in this business. You don't see that too often in this business. I think what I bring to the table in trucking litigation, as opposed to a lot of lawyers that want to handle trucking litigation, is that I actually took some time off college and drove a tractor trailer. I worked for a company, and I will tell you, when I went back to college, I was a straight A student. Because driving a truck is not easy. It's hard work, it's dangerous work. And there's a bunch of regulations. They're called the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations that govern the safe operation of trucks and trucking companies in America. And I know those rules inside and out. And the reason I do is, if you don't follow those rules as a truck driver or a trucking company, you're going to hurt people, no doubt about it. And we use those rules in a trucking case. We handle it substantially different than just a regular car wreck case. And we drill down and make sure those trucking companies are hiring competent, qualified drivers, that they're monitoring their drivers, that the drivers are following the hours of service, that in other words, they are driving only the amount that the government says is safe and not more. And so by drilling down on those rules and regulations and how the trucking company and the truck driver are using those rules or not abiding by those rules, we can add a lot of value to the case. And we can also impress upon that trucking company the need to enforce those safety rules. If the trucking company doesn't enforce them, the truck driver's not going to follow them. And if he doesn't follow them, people are going to get hurt. There's no doubt about it. It's a passion of mine. I have seen people's lives ended, ruined, families' lives altered because of careless truck drivers. And that's what we're all about. It's about trying to make the roads safer. And frankly, I'm a little selfish about it. I got 3 drivers in my family, 3 children that are young teenagers that are driving, and it worries me. I'm scared for them. When they leave the house, I'm saying a prayer every single time. And, we're committed to making the road safer. There's a misperception or a misunderstanding of what goes on in a courtroom. And something that jurors don't understand is that in every single case I've been involved in, there's an insurance company that's paying that verdict. When you're driving down the road and you get rear-ended at a red light and you're unable to resolve the case with the person who hit you with their insurance company, you have to file a lawsuit. And you don't sue State Farm or Alpha or Geico. What you end up doing is you sue the person that hit you, and a jury never hears that they're insured by State Farm or Alpha or Geico or whomever, AIG, whatever. The fact that that person's insured and the fact that that insurance company's got to pay the verdict is never told to a jury. And a lot of my clients don't understand that, and jurors certainly don't understand it. I have never tried a case that I can think of in all the years that I've been practicing law where the person I sued or the company I sued was not covered by an insurance policy. And I don't think I've ever collected money from an individual. It's always been paid by their insurance company. And that's just something most people in the country don't understand. And that's just one of the many rules of evidence that control admissibility of evidence in a courtroom.